Hey guys, DanHeilman here, back with another Awaken Chaos Era video. Today I'm going to talk about RTA. I'm going to talk about the units I'm starting to build and gear for real-time arena. I'll talk about the details we do have. So there was this post on the Discord here. Basically, real-time arena is coming. It adds a twist on arena as the team selection rules might take you out of your comfort zone and force you to use team combinations you haven't explored. I'm assuming this means we're going to have bans. You can see they kind of have this thing pre-disable. So I'm assuming maybe that's the first two bans, and I'm assuming people are going to pick. It's kind of odd because it shows the left team with everyone picked already, but one ban, and then the right team hasn't picked anyone yet. You would think usually they would pick a couple, etc., but I don't know. Maybe they're going to pick full teams. We don't have any details, and basically they said if you haven't started already, it might be a good time to start farming gear and start leveling up units. A single team of 4 isn't going to cut it in RTA. So this is basically going to mean that you're going to have to build up units and leave gear on them. You're not going to get a chance to change gear in between rounds, etc. I mean, in between rounds, you should be able to change gear. But obviously, when you're doing picks and bans, I'm assuming you're not going to be able to change your gear. So I'm going to pull up my list. I have a list of units on my spreadsheet. You know, I kind of got a lot of garbage. It's not very organized on my spreadsheet, but there's a lot of tabs with a lot of information. And these are kind of the units that I'm going to build out. These are the units that I'm building out and gearing. All right, let's go through the list of the units that I'm building. I don't have everyone on this list. For example, I don't have Orion, who is the best damage dealer in the entire game, especially for Arena. He gets the increased precision because he's a light dark unit. I don't have Corrupt Aurak. I wish I did. I don't have Crazed Urzag. I don't have Imogen, but these are the list of all of the units. If I had them, I would build them. Also, let me know in the comments below if I missed anyone on this list. Let me know if there's anyone that you guys are building for RTA that I forgot about. I did put A2 next to some of them because that's kind of required. Brand, his shield gets a lot bigger at A2. Hackrin, his defense gets better. Godfrey, the chance of locking out the enemy goes up higher. Now, the lists here kind of are damage dealers, meaning all these guys I would build with damage stats. Support units, usually you don't build them for damage. I guess Light Zach's kind of in the middle because you usually build them tanky. Virgil, you could maybe give some attack stats, but his base stats are not very good, so I wouldn't recommend it. Healers and shielders, obviously there's going to be the 3 big ones. Now, these are all the units that I'm going to build, all the units I'm going to get gear on. And let me just go down the list and just talk about them quickly, each one, what they're used for, and how to build them. Orion, you're probably going to want to build him an Avarice set. You don't need as much precision because he gets precision. He's a great damage dealer. You're going to want to build him full-on damage. Valeria, another unit, very good damage dealer, a red unit. You're going to want to build an Avarice set. She hits very hard. She has multiple AoEs. Avera, again, you want to build an Avarice set. You could build her in a Cursed, but Avarice is usually going to be best for arena type, PvP, RTA, etc. because you're going to have a lot of burst damage in there if you use the Avarice set. She's a green damage dealer, very good person to build. Now, depending on your composition here, you're going to probably want to build a red unit, a green unit, and maybe even a blue unit. That could be Ciara or an Athalia for the blue units. Again, all damage dealers. Urzag is a green unit, and he's very good for going against units who have high defense but no attack. So he's very good at eating people like Brand or Hackrin or Mai the Asia, for example. So Urzag, you want to build very high attack, but you also want 100% crit rate and some precision, and you want some crit damage, but you want to focus more on attack than, you know, a balanced build like for some of the other ones because his damage scales with the attack difference. Dark Nick is a great counter to Light Zach, and he can hit very hard. He basically wants to take damage to get him down to 1 HP. He gets this unkillable thing, and he does this big AoE. It does a lot of damage. He's a very good counter for Light Zach because Light Zach's always going to go for him, and he's not going to be able to kill him. And then, you know, Light and Dark are strong against each other and weak against each other. So yeah, Dark Nick. He's also very good for defenses. Some people will use him on defense. He's good there because he can't be killed. You can run him with other tank units. Obviously, if you cleanse his unkillable, he can be killed. But yeah, he's also known for defense. It's kind of the same thing as Light Zack. They're kind of like opposites there. Crazed Urzag is another really good unit. A lot of people build him in a stun set. You can also build him in an Avarice set. He does a lot of AoE damage. These two together are really annoying because they proc off each other, get extra turns, etc. Imogen is a good cleanser, also a dark unit, good damage dealer to build. I think people, I don't have Imogen, but I think people said you can build her in an Avarice set. Let's look at her kit real quick. Yeah, okay, deals 150 damage to all targets. Okay, I thought she hit a bunch of targets at the same time, but this must be this thing here. Okay, so she does deal AoE damage, so yes, she would work in an Avarice set, so you can build her in an Avarice set. Tia, you can build her in a stun set for extra CC. You will need to build her with focus. She does have S tier attack, so she can hit hard. So that's why she's on the damage dealer side and not on the support side. She's mostly known for her CC because she can freeze. You kind of want her A5 if possible. I guess I should put that there. But not a lot of people have an A5 Tia. She's not that high on the list. These are kind of in order. But not really. Urion's #1, and I think probably Crazed, Urzag, and Imogen should be a little bit higher. They're kind of in order of their damage dealing abilities, but not really. It's kind of just a list of units I'm building and gearing. Now, Tia, I would run her in a stun set, but you can run her in a damage set. You could run her in an Avarice set if you want her to deal damage. You can build her many ways, but again, you need high focus. I like having the stun set just because it's an additional chance, because her AoE does not have a 100% chance to freeze everyone, so that's why I kind of like the stun set. Edicris is really good in either a cursed set if you want to deal a lot of damage, or a stun set. I like him better in a stun set because he has all these extra attacks that go through, and he can really stun people really well. Now, don't forget that the stun set, which is called the Rebel set, does need focus. So you're going to want high focus. I build mine with high focus, high speed, and crit damage, crit rate, and attack. Obviously, you need good gear to get all of those stats, but I kind of have a well-rounded build. I loved him in Void Tower, very good. Reroll is another single target damage dealer. You can see you don't see too many single target damage dealers on the list. Reroll's really good for killing enemy Mai the Asias that are very strong. He's single target, gets a lot of attacks. You probably want to build him in a cursed set. He gets bonus attacks and bonus turns, so every time he gets another turn, it has a chance to proc the cursed set, so he's good in that, especially in PvP. You want to build him high damage stats, and he's going to be a very good unit to kill Mai the Asia. If you have a really strong one, you can use Valeria and Reroll together with 2 other supports to get down that Mai the Asia, because she's really annoying and resurrects, etc. All right, let's move over to supports. Let's talk about some of the very important supports in this game for PvP. Brand and Windex, you're probably going to use not together, but in replacement for each other. They both are buffers. So Brand is going to put a shield. He's also going to put increased defense, increased attack. He has the big version of increased attack, and he is good to go before your damage dealers. You want to build him fast. You can build him in a stun set, because every time your team gets hit, an ally on your team besides Brand gets hit, he's going to counterattack, and he's going to put decreased attack, and he can also stun if you put him in a stun set. You need high focus, so that's how you build him. Windex is like your speed lead. She is going to boost your speed and your attack. You'll use her in place of Brand. For example, when you're fighting like a Light Zack, you do not want to bring Brand along. You're going to have a bad time because of the counterattacks. They're going to trigger Light Zack, and you can get an infinite loop where Light Zack can literally get infinite turns, so don't use him against that. Hakrin is, the most used person in PvP, 1000%. He increases defense on everyone, and he's just really annoying. He taunts, he increases HP, really annoying. Corrupt Aurak, if you're lucky enough to have him, you can build him in a stun set, the Rebel set. I keep talking about it. And you will need focus, even though he's a damage dealer. So he can actually stun people before the game even starts, which is kind of annoying, but you can use someone like Mary to counteract Corrupt Aurak. Corrupt Aurak. You can also build him in a revival set, and you can just build him with a ridiculous amount of HP and defense, and he will basically be unkillable. Very cool unit. Wish I had him. God Fairy. He has this ability when a buff happens that he basically puts that person's skills on cooldown. You do need A2 for it to be 100%, so you need to have him ascended twice. You can kind of get around it, so when he first came out, people used him a lot in defense, but then if you use a single buff, it doesn't happen, or if you use like a shield set on one person, you can get around it. So some people use him on offense. You know, if the team has a brand or something, you can use Godfrey to counter him. Decent unit. I just pulled him actually. I don't know if I'm going to put 2 potions into him quite yet, but I may. Light Zac, mostly known for defense, but if you're going against a brand, you could probably use Light Zac. You kind of want to build him really high agility, really high HP. You want him to be able to live. You can build him in a revival set if you want him to be extra cancer and basically be unkillable with high agility, high HP in a revival set. And then you want to build him attack. So attack percent, his ult ignores defense. And yeah, that's really what you want to do for him. You're not going to use him on attack as much as defense, but defense he's definitely very good. I just built mine for defense. Light Melissa, great unit, like MVP. She has a full AoE taunt that can sometimes turn into a 2-turn taunt. You want to build her high speed and high focus and high resistance, so she doesn't get CC'd, but she's really good. I use her in almost all of my teams when I'm attacking. Most of the time I'm going to use someone like Brand or Windex as like a speed booster / buffer. And then I'm going to go right into Light Melissa to taunt the enemy team. And then I'm going to use 2 damage dealers, you know, maybe Valeria or Avera or Nathalia, etc. You can use Edicris if you need strips, etc. Edicris is a great stripper. Another person for supports is Evelyn First On. I've only seen her really on defenses. If you build her really tanky, she's annoying because she gives everyone extra turns. And it's just really annoying on defense. If you use someone like Evelyn First On, My the Asia, Brand, and Hackran, for example, it's really annoying. I've only really seen her on defense. I don't know if anyone uses her on offense, maybe, but she's another notable mention here. Again, these are kind of in order of importance, but Mary should be a little bit higher, I think. Virgil's kind of cool. He's really fast. He has this huge lockout that basically stops everyone from using their abilities besides A1s. He's very fast. He also has 2 AoEs, so he's very good on a stun set because he has those 2 AoEs. He can be very useful in PvP. I use him in Void Tower and stuff like that too. So that's another unit I have built in a stun set, very fast. Mary is another great support. She puts like an immune to damage buff on your team. She can also cleanse. She also can give a bonus turn. I mean, one of the best elites in the game, honestly. She's huge. Definitely want to build her up. You can probably leave her at level 50. You probably don't need level 60 for her. But she's pretty cool. She can counter Corrupt Auric in a stun set because she can just cleanse that off right away. And then the final category here, healers and shielders. These are some other units that I am building and gearing out for RTA. My the Asia, everyone knows her. She's super cancer. She can resurrect the entire team. You can use a resurrect spell on her, and then she can resurrect the entire team permanently, even though she's only alive for 1 turn. Super annoying. You want to build her high HP, high defense, and high agility. So she's basically unkillable. She's super annoying to fight against. She's used in a lot of defenses along with Hackran. Yeah, that's her. Yolanda's cool. She got a brand new rework. She's a shielder, not really a healer. That's why I put healer / shielders up here. And she's basically going to put this buff on someone when they die. They basically just resurrect. She also has a shield that scales with how much health they've lost. She can also give increased attack, the big version with an extra turn. So she's pretty cool for both attacking and defending. She's pretty cool. Blackhorn, one of the best healers in the game, right next to My the Asia. He's a blue unit, and he can also cleanse. He puts his totem up. That cleanses. His healing is based on max HP, so you're going to want to build him probably in a revival set with high HP. You could build all these in dragon scale sets as well, which reduces their chance to be crit. So yeah, that's it. These are all the units I'm building for RTA. These are all the units that I'm gearing for RTA. I kind of went through how to build them. I kind of went through what their use is. So I hope this was useful for some of you guys if you're trying to gear up for RTA. Basically to what units you should be keeping an eye out for and which units you should be building and gearing. Don't forget, you're not going to be able to change your gear when you're doing RTA. You're going to have them already geared. So that's very important. You're going to need lots of gear and you're going to need lots of charms to level up that gear. So, okay. I hope this was useful for you guys. If it was, hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're not already, and have a great day, everyone. See you guys. I hope this is useful for you guys. I'm looking forward to RTA. So, all right. Have a great day, everyone. See ya.